Okay, I'm strapped. I'm in the lab. Trigger, yeah. I'm so good. Yeah. Keep it straight up. If you let them know straight up. Keep it straight up. Yeah, keep it straight up. Yeah, if you're getting money, let them know straight up. I'm no realist, I keep it straight up. I'm gonna take it straight up. And I'm so good, I take it straight up. I'm fresh out the kitchen, lyrics fresh off the stove. The block on the drought and the fiends want more. The fiends want more. I'm elected like the president. Hustle to my last breath, chasing them president. Niggas get terminated, no false information. And niggas get terminated, who they facing. I'm known as the Don, don't act like you don't know me. Long hair, never care, your girlfriend ignores me. Flow so crazy, I think I need a straight jacket.
Welcome to another edition of the Straight Up Show. I'm your boy Primetime, and look who we have in the house today. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta put it like this: husband and wife and husband.
There you go.
All right, Mr. John Mass and Mrs. Mass, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, we'd like to welcome you here on the show this afternoon. You know, we're here right now to talk about two of your books.
Yes,
and the first one was One Man's Mind. Let's get it right. One Man's Mind.
Yes.
And I understand you won an award for that book.
Yes, sir. I won the award for 2010. I won the Poet of the Year and Author of the Year for the state of Tennessee. The book is just awesome.
Well, you know, I try to do some reading, but I'm not a good reader when it comes to doing things, even though, you know, we read right here on the telecast and things like that. But, you know, I read some of the book is a book about poems and things like that, right?
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I got to reading about the book, and one of those poems I only read two. But the one I really looked and zoomed in on was the last one in the book, actually, and it's called Mother.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, everybody has a mother, and everyone has a father, too, but at the same time, you know, it kind of made me think, because my father went away, you know.
Yes, sir.
And it just got to me a little bit and things like that. So just tell me a little bit more about why you put a poem in about mothers, something like that.
The reason why I put the poem in about my mom, because at that time my mom was going through a lot of adversity in her body. She was going through a lot of affliction, a lot of adversity in her body. So what I did, when I was sitting at work one day, God just dropped it in my spirit to write it, because it can encourage somebody else. Because like you said, everybody experienced something going on with their father, their mother, or just different experiences in their life. They might know the auntie or uncle or something like that. So when I started writing it, and God was reflecting what she was going through in her body, then what I was going through in my mind, and I just put it down on a piece of paper. Then all of a sudden, once I started getting everything together, everything started flowing pretty well.
You know, I'm saying like this because, you know, I've been with you, too, for a short while today.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, and then I got to thinking about things, and I'm like, now who keep this guy grounded? Damn. I looked at the woman over there, and it just hit me right then. Your wife. You know, I see your wife has a very nice influence over you,
yes,
and things like that. But I just want to move it over to the wife right quick.
I ain't got no problem.
I'm going to move it over to the wife, right? Now, look, when he's writing that book, does that just get him out your way for a while?
Yes, it does.
It get him out the way, right?
It gets him out the way.
So, in other words, you're kind of happy when he started writing, right?
To a point.
To a point.
Because every time he writes,
Right.
I don't care. Most of the time, his writing happens at work, and so I have to get
At
the phone
work,
call.
right?
At work.
So you're writing a book at work.
At
Yes,
work.
sir.
What's really going on there?
Yes, sir.
So I mean, that's where most of his inspiration seems like. Ever since I met him, is on the job.
Right.
Is on his job. But when you said out of my way, I said to a point, because I have to get the phone call. Like, okay, how this sound?
Okay.
You know, so I have to do the editing through the phone, even as writing.
So you're still using that at the same time. Let me shake your hand on that.
I'll wait for her to say that. I'll wait for her to say
I like
that.
that. We got to get that in some type of way.
Yes, sir.
You know, but I do, you know, I look at everything and I try to study everything. And I look at both of the books. You know, you have the one that came out, One Man's Mind, that came out first. and you know, you were like selling 3,000 copies per week.
Yes, sir.
You know,
well, I had the highest week was the month of July. I got the hottest seller that month. I sold 3,342 copies, and then also they gave me the hottest book seller that month. But it wasn't every week I was selling 3,000 copies. It was just the highest gross of that week.
Well, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand. We're introducing to you an author, a book writer, and all the above. And this guy came from Gary, Indiana, Gary Wallace High School.
Yes, sir.
You know, he lives in Tennessee now. Of course, he's married.
Yes, sir.
And he told me a little story about his wife. I'm going to tell you just a little bit of it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little dab.
Just a little bit. And, you know, how it came to him catching his wife. Now, he was really a flirt. But he was at school in elementary, well, high school at the Wallace. He was kind of quiet. He was a bully. Joanne told me that. But he was quiet. And he got her being semi-quiet. You know, he told her he was going to kiss her.
Yes, he did.
Now, yes, I did.
Now,
yes, I did.
You weren't even with her yet, right?
No.
How did you meet her? With your sister or something like that?
Yeah, my
right?
sister introduced me to her, and she said, well, she didn't want her brother to be alone. And she said, you're a good man, you know, I got a good job, all that good stuff. And she said, but she's a good woman, and I don't want you to be by yourself for the rest of your life. Because I got to the point, bad marriages, bad
discouraged,
bad relationships. And
right.
I said to myself, I'm just going to be by myself for a while. My wife, meaning my sister, said, no, you don't need to be like that. So she introduced me to her. And the funny part about it, for 3 days, we talked 3 hours, 3 days. And the last thing I told her is, you was absolutely right, was, when I meet you, I'm going to kiss you. No, you're not. You ain't going to kiss me. But ask her.
So you was talking kiss from the very beginning. So what's going on with that? In his mind, now you didn't even know how she looked.
Exactly.
Well, to be honest with you, in a way I did, in a way I didn't. My sister sent me a picture.
Okay, I was going to say.
On the phone. But that picture did not do her any justice.
But see, if you didn't really see, you might have been kissing a rug. And you're sitting there, and then you saw her, you said, okay, I hit go. You hit go, right?
Yeah.
There you go. See, God works in mysterious ways.
Yes,
I'm telling you, because mine's, you know, I'm just lucky all the way around. You know, I'm just lucky because when you have a good woman, the guy is grounded by his surroundings, and especially if his family is together,
right.
and his wife or
right.
his woman or whoever she is. And I look at that also. So you must keep that put it into consideration, where is that you can look at things and say, well, my success does come from the people I'm around.
Exactly.
And that's one of them right there.
And your faults come from the people that you're surrounded too.
That's true.
You know, and I'm saying this to you, even when I was up in Gary, you know, you say I was quiet, Joanne said I was a bully. I was a quiet guy.
You was a quiet bully. That's put it like that.
I didn't bully nobody because I was about the shortest guy in my freshman year. I was the shortest guy, but also I was the quietest guy because I didn't let nobody know, especially my sister friends, what I done or do. So what I did outside of the school. So everybody just thought I was this little nerd. I was smart. I was 12 years old.
Trying to be slick. That's what he was trying to be.
But my friends, I had some negative influence around me once I left out of high school. Once I left out of Wallace, once the bell rang, I walked outside the door. That's when the games came, and that's when all these devilish things that I wanted to do came.
Oh, see, you see what I'm saying? He was slick. But then he came back into it, and at that time, you never thought that you probably would go into writing books, did you?
No, sir.
At that time, and see, that's what I try to encourage people that's around me. You know, I have a dance group.
Yes, sir.
And I try to encourage them right now, where they're in junior high and high school, that don't just think about dancing right now. I mean, think about it. Get good at what we're doing, but also use this to inspire yourself to do other things later. So I want my people and my dancers to think about when they're out there, we're going from city to city, think and look and watch and try to, get a hold of other things that you might, want to do later on.
Right, exactly.
But you became a writer, and you are a writer,
yes,
and
sir.
you haven't just wrote one book, you wrote 2 now.
Yes, sir.
And the other one is called?
It's called Revealing the Mask.
Okay, and what made you write that? That's like a spinoff on the other one.
Basically, it is. Really, I made up my mind I was going to write one book. Then, when my mom passed last year, And she told me, my sister called me, she said, John, no matter what you do, write a poem about Mama.
Okay.
So I wrote a poem about Mama, and then once I started writing a poem about Mama, God started opening up some more visions to me, some more ideas, and I started writing them down. But this, my second book, I asked a young lady that go to church with me, she was going through something, I asked her to put a poem in there.
Okay. Now, you're from where?
Right now, I live in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, you are the Tennessee boy, the Tennessee family.
No, I'm still in Gary. My heart is in Gary.
You have roots in Gary, Indiana.
That's right.
But you're from Tennessee.
That's
Yes.
right.
You've been in Tennessee for how long?
Ooh.
Okay, that's all. That's all. That means a long time.
Yes.
But you know, we're here. You're right here sitting with Primetime, another edition of the Straight Up Show, and we're gonna continue to talk about this book in just 1 minute. In the meantime, y'all, I want y'all to check this out right here. Check it out. All right, we're back. This time, Mr. Mask, look, we want to talk about the new book that's coming out right now, and exactly how long did it take you to write this book?
To be honest with you, it didn't take me as long as it did the first time. The first time, I didn't know where I wanted to go with the first book, so it took me maybe about 8 months. Second book, it took me about 3 months to get that one together. But it took me almost a year to get my first publisher dropped me.
Okay.
So I had to find a publisher. Then I had to find the publisher was the hardest thing to find.
Right.
Then I also had to get somebody to edit it because at one time my wife did not want to edit.
Okay.
Then I got her to edit. Then I got my sister to edit. So it took right around 6 to 8 months to do the second one. The first one was like a year, a little bit over a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But the second one, to get editor, to get the money, to get the proceeds, get sponsored, whatever, it took me right around 8 months, 6 to 8 months.
Well, see, the reason I ask you that because I want people to realize that it doesn't you just write a book and you put it out there.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There's business to everything that you do. You know, I mean, we're talking about books right now.
Okay.
But, you know, I get a lot of people walking up to me that's artists, from rappers to singers to dancers and things like that. I want them to understand every time I bring a guest onto my show to make them or try to get them to understand that it's about business first.
Exactly.
You know, the business come first and things like that.